In this example, we'll use API Wizard to create fixed asset adjustments. API Wizard can do multiple things in the asset module, including additions, adjustments, retirements, reinstatements, transfers, and so forth. We're going to show two loaders in this example. The first one is going to be a very granular or purpose-built loader, which basically allows you to update asset serial numbers and cost. And then in the second example, we'll use a more comprehensive loader. Since these assets already exist, we'll use an extract out of the IT Corp asset book, and that'll pull out all of the assets in that book. There are two parameters for this extract, asset number and book number. You can add parameters or change them for any process. Here you'll see that we're just we're moving some of the extra assets that are loaded. We're just going to process the ones that you can see on the screen. We fill out the upload column, setting that to yes, and now we'll fill out the serial number for those assets that are missing their serial number. For the purposes of this example, we're just going to put in random serial numbers here just so you can see them get populated. If you think about how difficult it is to do an asset adjustment in Oracle, you've got to go into each asset one by one and then drill into whichever form has the information that you want to adjust. Really tedious. API Wizard gives you a much easier way to do it. Here we're able to enter the cost. The extract populated the current cost, and now in the new cost column, we can fill out the cost that we'd like to change it to. So you can see here we're filling out that information to different numbers so that we can see the changes that are made. You'll note that there's a third column. So the first column for cost is current cost. The second column is new cost. The third is delta. API Wizard will automatically figure out the delta and send that to Oracle as part of this process. To execute, we hit the execute button. API Wizard tells us what's about to happen. We're going to process 26 rows. We say yes, calculates the delta, and now API Wizard starts processing the data. Any record that has an S in the status column and is colored in blue is successful. If there are any errors, those will be colored in red. Here we get the execution summary telling us that the 26 records were processed and successful, and we're done. Couldn't not be easier, faster, or more efficient way to do your asset adjustments. Far superior than what it would be like to make these changes in Oracle. Now, that was a very specific granular example. Here now what we're going to do is we're going to show a more broad-based asset adjustment loader. So that one was focused on serial number and cost. This asset adjustment loader allows you to adjust any asset attribute. So that includes things like the description, the tag number, serial number like we saw before, asset key, asset type, and so forth. Same process, we extract the data out. We're going to use our IT Corp book. We're going to pull out all of our assets. We'll actually see the changes that we've just made for the assets that we've adjusted. And so we can see some of those in the serial number field, for example. And then we can come in and make whatever other changes we need to make. And so we'll scroll over to the right here, and you'll see that there are just lots of additional fields that we can enter, or that we can adjust here in the loader. You'll note here is our cost, and those were again the changes that we made in the previous example. But here we could potentially change things like the depreciation method or the life in months, things like that. And there's also other loaders for taking depreciation, unplanned depreciation, things like that. So whether you need a simple loader or whether you need a more comprehensive loader for doing your asset adjustments, API Wizard gives you a super easy way to do it.